Hey guys, wanted to do a quick video here on some of my knives. Actually, this is all of my knives. I'm not a knife collector by any means. I've acquired a few of these over the years for various purposes, and I've reached a point where I think I've got pretty much what I need. This is not going to be an all-inclusive knife review. There's other guys out there that do a way better job of that than I can do here. But I will show you what I got. I'm including this Leatherman tool in my knife collection. Very handy tool. Something that I would suggest, whether you get a Gerber or a Leatherman tool, multi-tools are really very handy. I was an airline mechanic for a number of years, and I carried this tool with me and was able to do a heck of a lot of interior work without having to go to my larger toolbox. So, you know, there's quite a bit you can do with the Leatherman tool. You can open oil cans with it. There's just a ton of things you can do, and it is a very handy tool in a pinch. My latest acquisition is this Spyderco Endura 4, and I'm very happy with this knife. It's an everyday carry knife, very light in weight. I don't know if you can see here, but there is a very good I forget what they call this, but this grip is extremely effective, and I'm really enjoying this knife as an everyday carry knife. It's about 8 inches overall, and it opens up very, very easily. Let me just show you here. It's got this large thumb hole, and that's Spyderco's kind of trademark deal there. It's a lock blade, and it locks from the back, and it opens up very quickly, and it's got a clip that you can move from either this position to the top position, and it'll go on the left or right side. I've left it as it was shipped because that, oddly enough, works out for me. And I'll tell you what, I put it in my front right pocket, all the way towards the back of my jeans pocket, and I forget the thing's even there. So as far as everyday carry, really would recommend an Endura 4 by Spyderco. They also have other models. This you can get for around 50 bucks, cheaper than that if you look around and shop. But really awesome everyday carry knife. Highly recommend it. Nothing Fancy did a review of this. You might check that out. His review was of the full flat ground. This one has that I don't know what that's called, but that ribbing that goes down about halfway up the blade, and it goes down the length of the blade. They say that that's for strength, provides a little extra strength there, but if you want a comparison using the full flat ground, Nothing Fancy did a good review of that. But awesome knife, very happy with it. As you can see, all of my other knives slash multi-tool come with a sheath. This does not, because it has that clip, and so that's something that you're going to be carrying either in your back pocket or your front pocket or somewhere where you're using the clip. And again, very lightweight. Very happy with this Endura 4 by Spyderco. Another knife I bought, more of a souvenir knife, which is about the same dimensions as this Spyderco, is a brand called Western, and I picked this up at the Texas Ranger Museum in Waco, Texas a number of years ago, and I bought it because it had this really nifty Texas Ranger logo on the side of it. Let me see if I can get that visible for you there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's also a lock blade, and you can see the dimensions are very similar to this Endura 4. The difference is this is a very heavy knife compared to the Endura 4, and you can see why. The thickness is quite different there, and you know, you're dealing with wood and brass as opposed to the, I guess this is a spun nylon material that they're using for the Endura 4. But you know, it was more of a souvenir purchase, and also the other thing is it's not as deployable as the Endura 4 because the Spyderco has that hole. Now there's a lot of knives out there that'll have a stud there or a post that you would put your thumb onto and deploy the knife that way. I haven't had too much experience with those because I bought this Spyderco, but again, I'm very happy with it, and so you can you know, judge for yourself what you'd like to do with respect to the everyday carry. And just thought that was kind of a neat knife though there, from the Texas Ranger Museum in Waco. Western is the brand, and other than that, I did some research online, couldn't find anything similar to it. So it's been a number of years since I bought that, so it's obviously a little bit dated, but it's in good shape. I haven't really used it, just take it out occasionally to look at it, polish it up, put some Brasso on that. Those ends get quite tarnished, so I probably shine it up more than anything else. But on to the next. This is a common item in Army surplus stores. This is a U.S. Navy knife, and I liked it, bought it probably 15 years ago. Liked it because it was a survival knife, and let me see if I can get this in view for you here. It says MK3. MK3 Mod 0, and on the other side 2V as in Victor 376, and then in the center it's got the USN, and on the other side the same thing. Very good grip. This is a plastic or maybe a spun nylon or some kind of a synthetic material. I believe, you know, I'm not positive, but I believe that this shank goes all the way up. One of the things I learned when I purchased another knife, which I'll show you in a minute, is that on a survival knife you want to get something that has that blade or the metal go all the way up to here. A lot of them will have this blade thickness up to here, and then they'll have either a very thin piece of material going the rest of the way, or they'll have thin material go up this far and then stop. And I've learned that you want, on a survival knife, you want that metal, that steel, to go all the way up. I believe in this case it does. I think I've disassembled this before, and that does seem to be the case. For obvious reasons, you're going to be using this thing with a baton to split wood, and you're going to be doing other things, and you want the thing to stand up when you're giving it a beating. So been happy with that knife. It's not my primary survival knife. For that I have the Becker BK7, and I've got a little bit of the paint knocked off of here. I've been using this, getting familiar with it. You can see the BK7 got a little bit of jimping here, and It's got a plastic handle. It might be nylon material, although I'm not sure. It's almost like a Bakelite. I have no problem with this. There's no huge amount of abrasive grip material here, but I find this to be very comfortable to hold. I really like this knife a lot. It has the spine, probably getting the nomenclature wrong here, but this blade comes all the way up to the end, and you can use this to pummel things. Also, when you're using this to split wood, it holds up very well. Good thickness on the metal, on the steel, and just really like this knife a lot. It stood up to the beating I've given it. Took it out and created a makeshift shelter lean-to with it, and it's performed very nicely. I think that if you're looking to purchase a survival knife, the Becker knives are fantastic. And now, from what I understand, Becker went out of business and was bought by Kabar, or they were acquired by Kabar outright. I don't know what the deal is there, but they're still making the knives, and they're available. And as you can see on this one, it says Kabar. So it says BK Kabar, and it is the standard BK7. They also make a BK9, which is a little bit larger knife. I found the BK7 to be good. Depends on your needs. I will say this, not a big fan of this sheath. There's a plastic insert in here. You can see it there. And the knife rattles around in there quite a bit. And overall, I think they could have done a better job on that sheath. It is workable. It's serviceable. There's a part on the front here where they give you a smaller knife for whittling. You know, that's more of an afterthought in my view. But that stows in the front here, along with a whetstone and or whatever else you want to put in there. I've got a flint and steel, fire steel in the front, as well as the whetstone. It's got a couple holes for lanyards on the top and the bottom here. It's definitely serviceable. It works, but not my favorite part of it. You could always get a different sheath for that knife. But the BK7, the knife itself, is fantastic. Really happy with that. So with that, I will leave it at that. Those are our knives and multi-tool, and be interested to hear what you guys have to say about your collection. Take care. Thanks.